Well, let's start with the cheering news and celebrate the resilience of Nigerian youths. The Guinness World Records has finally confirmed the Hilda Baci as the new longest cookathon record holder. Following a thorough review of the evidence, the Guinness World Record said the celebrity chef has officially broken the record for the longest cooking marathon by an individual with a record time of 93 hours, 11 minutes. This is the scene there. Hilda broke the records, broke the internet a few weeks ago when she embarked on this audacious mission of cooking for more than 87 hours. She eventually did 100 hours or plus, but of course, records had to review all the time, and they arrived at 93 hours, 11 minutes, which is still a record in itself. Gentlemen, a proud moment for Nigeria. We heard there's another lady, a chef in Ekiti, who is attempting to break this record. We'll come to that in a bit. But let's start with this audacious move by Hilda.
Well, the story of Hilda Baci is that of resilience, is that of passion. I think there are lessons to learn from Hilda. Not everybody will be involved in a cookathon, or not everybody is a chef, but it shows that it strengthens the lesson that where there's a will, there's a way. It means that young people can have a passion and follow it through. It means that negative circumstances do not necessarily have to determine the fate of an individual. It's a good thing that Hilda Baci has put Nigeria on a world map with regard in respect of this cookathon. And it's also a challenge for many young people of our age. We have young people of our age who are into prostitution. We have girls who think that, well, the only way they can make it, the only way they can survive, the only way they can survive the horse is to do what they call hookup, which is the glorified name for prostitution. I think this should encourage many Hildas there who have a passion. So people should follow their passion. Regardless of the inclement situations, it is possible to make it in this country and make it honestly.
And talking about inspiring other young Nigerians, we see a young lady, Chef Damilola in the Ekiti State, who has already broken the 100 hours record, although that has not been ratified by the Guinness World Record. But of course, we've seen a lot of people who are already indicating desire to break this record. But let's give it to Hilda. She set the pace. And what is the implication or the impact this will have on the mentality of Nigerian youths generally?
Well, she has set a pace, and also, just before we came into the studio, I read that somewhere in Kano, another person has started bracing up for our own session. It is a good thing, and I want to differ a little bit. About 2-3 weeks ago, I wrote in my column, which is published online, about between a book fair and cookathon. We have seen so much has been said and done about her. Good. We'll give it to her, and whatever competition that is that will ginger youths to do things that is noble, fine. But in this same Nigeria, in this same Lagos, last year, if I'm not mistaken, there was a guy, Bayode Treasures Olawumi, who embarked on the book reading for 120 hours. And the Guinness World Record has recognized that. There was no
euphoria.
Exactly. So, cooking is, I'm not saying it's not noble, it's not good, but we need also to encourage people in other things
beyond the merriment and the social lifestyle.
Because for me,
and all that.
as I argued in my piece, beyond the show, what else are we going to gain from this? But if the guy that did that reading for 120 hours, not one single government official visited him. Not one known person visited him and gave him a pep as we had for Hilda Baci. So when we now complain or we talk about people are no longer doing noble things or they are no longer facing education and all that, it is because of things like this. Because if the guy who did the reading had got the same kind of support,
More Nigerians would have tried, would have attempted that as well.
Exactly. But now, it has,
now it's a food everybody's attempting.
Exactly. Nigeria is a thing of, you have done something, you are successful.
I can equally match it.
And that is exactly
the
what
bandwagon kind of.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. We'll come to this. We'll still dwell a bit more about this conversation. But let's welcome Babajide Kolade Otitoju into the conversation. He joins us via Zoom from Ilorin, the Kwara State capital. Babajide, good to see you from the other side of the conversation. But let's bring you up to speed now. The Hilda Baci attempt has been confirmed by the Guinness World Record, even though it's been bit down to 93 hours. And we've seen other Nigerians trying or attempting to even surpass that. What's your reaction to this?
Well, it's a good thing. It's a thing of joy for me and for many Nigerians that after this long wait, the Guinness Book of World Records have eventually confirmed that Hilda is the new holder of the world record for the cooking marathon. Hilda must consider herself very lucky because, and you see, there's a lesson in this. When you push yourself so hard, you are doing yourself a big favor. 7 hours was deducted from the number of hours that Hilda logged. If Hilda had not pushed herself further at the point when she successfully erased the record set by the Indian woman, Lotana, which she erased earlier on during the competition. If she had not pushed herself, a little further, the deduction of 7 hours, which according to the Guinness World Record was because she spent longer time than necessary during the breaks in between those hours, because you are entitled to 5 minutes of break, after consecutive hours. During the 5 minutes, you can eat, you can have your bath, and you can sleep. During that, you can imagine she was said to have spent in excess of the time permitted by the rules. So they deducted 7 hours from her time. So if she had not pushed herself to 100 hours, the deduction of 7 hours would inevitably have cost her the record. But thanks to Nigerians who are urging her on, who are encouraging her, who are singing and hailing her, she felt the need to add to the hours so that it will be a lot more difficult for anyone to erase our own record. So this is what eventually helped Hilda to erase the mark set by the Indian woman. So it is a lesson that when you have a dream and you pursue it vigorously, you will be rewarded with success. It's a happy day for Nigerians because many Nigerians thought that Hilda had lost it because of that delay, And during that period, she was said to have posted a picture of herself and some of her friends eating dog meat. And some Nigerians decided to tag the Guinness World Record pictures of Hilda eating dog meat, perhaps to get them to not recognize her.
Animal rights issues and all that.
At the end of the day, she set the mark, and he has also encouraged other Nigerians to do their own cooking marathon. You know, the woman in Ekiti State says she wants to do 120 hours. She has already gone past the halfway mark. It looks inevitable that she'll be able to do the 120 hours. And unlike Hilda, she is actually cooking meals that Nigerians are very familiar with, the very local meals and all that, so I disagree with those abusing her, calling her names, calling her copycat and all that. It makes no sense to do that. Let people make themselves happy. Let people challenge themselves in the way that they deem fit. It is not in your place to set standards for people that you cannot meet. So, congratulations to Hilda for this record.
Well, BKO, you've delved into perhaps the aspect of the conversation that we were hoping to wrap it up with, the bandwagon mentality. Yinka pointed out that the government must play a role in supporting ambition or aspirations that would further help the country. Well, we'll continue to congratulate Hilda and, of course, encourage other Nigerians who would brace up for endeavors, supernatural or audacious endeavors that would help them put the country on the global map in the proper light.